You have been searching. You have been asking. You have prayed. You have pleaded. You have wept in silence. And still nothing has come. You wonder why. Why hasn't it arrived? Why does it feel so far away? The answer lies in a sacred space, a narrow, powerful threshold, often overlooked. This space is called the state akin to sleep. It is the quiet bridge between waking and sleeping. The moment when your body begins to lose its hold on the external world, but your awareness is still present. This state is not just a transition. It is the doorway to all creation. Most people slip through this doorway without even noticing it. They carry their worries into it, replay their fears, rehearse the day's problems. And so they plant seeds of doubt and limitation, and those seeds take root. But this state, when used deliberately, can be the most powerful creative tool you possess. It is in this state that you impress your desires upon the deep mind, not through effort, but through surrender. When used correctly, this is the space where your wish is felt as real, not imagined as a hope, but felt as already true. And once it is accepted there, it must come to pass here. This is the first key. I will teach you how to enter this state, consciously and effectively. To reach the state akin to sleep, you must first let the body rest. You cannot force this state. You invite it. Begin by slowing the breath. Let the exhale lengthen. Let the muscles soften. Let the jaw release. Let the eyes become still. You are not sleeping. You are aware, but you are drifting. And this is exactly where you need to be. Your body may feel distant, your limbs heavy, as though you're wrapped in water. This is good. This means you are entering. Your thoughts may still appear. You may catch yourself thinking about your to-do list, or how you haven't heard back yet, or what could go wrong. This is normal. The mind wants to protect you. It wants to prepare you. But here, in this space, you are safe. You are not your thoughts. You are not your fears. You are not your waiting. You are the witness. Let the mind begin to quiet. Let the silence become familiar. Let it feel like coming home. There is nothing to figure out right now, nothing to solve, nothing to plan. There is only this moment, this breath, this state. And from this state, you begin to plant, not with longing, but with stillness, with faith. You are no longer seeking. You are choosing. You are remembering. You are becoming. Now, once you have entered this state, akin to sleep, you become the silent creator of your reality. In this space, you are beyond time and space. Past and future lose meaning. This is the doorway through which all desires must pass. For here, in this quiet, receptive state, your imagination is most powerful. It is the fertile soil where your desires are planted. And like a seed, they require nurturing, not by effort, but by feeling. You see, the imagination is the builder. It shapes your world according to the image you hold within. If your image is clear, if your feeling is vivid, the outer world must follow. When your inner world changes, your outer world will respond. This is the unbreakable law. It is not wishful thinking. It is a principle of consciousness itself. So now, while in this state, begin to imagine the end result you desire. See it clearly. Feel it deeply. Live in the sensation of the wish fulfilled. Imagine the scene that implies your desire is already yours. Perhaps it is receiving the news, holding what you have wanted for so long, feeling the joy, the gratitude, the peace that comes from knowing it is done. Do not think of how it will come. Do not be concerned with the means. Simply dwell in the feeling. This practice is not complicated. It is simple but profound, and its power lies in the repetition and faith. Return to this state each night, each day if you can. Make it your quiet refuge. In this sacred place, creation flows effortlessly. Let me share a true personal story so you understand this in real time. It was 1942. I had been drafted into the United States Army during World War II. I did not want to go. I wanted to go home, back to New York City. Every request for a discharge was denied. The Army told me there was no way out. But I remembered the law of assumption, and I decided to apply it fully. For 8 nights in a row, each night, as I lay on my cot at Camp Polk, Louisiana, I entered the state akin to sleep. I imagined myself sleeping in my own bed on 75th Street. I felt the bed rail. I touched the pillow. I sensed the walls around me. I heard the familiar sounds of home. It was real. I held that feeling as I drifted off to sleep. Not in the barracks, but in my own bed. Then on the 9th day, I was called before my commanding officer. That same day, I received my honorable discharge. I went home. I did not plead or convince anyone. I simply lived the end, 8 nights in imagination, and by the 9th day, the world had followed my inner experience. This is how the law works. Persist in your assumption. Live it as true. The world rearranges itself around it. I lived it, and that's why I teach it, because I know it's true. You may think it was impossible. You might say, no way, that couldn't happen. But I tell you, it did. And not because the outer world changed first. No, it changed because I changed within. Everything around me said no. The system said no. Even the facts, they all said no. But I persisted in the assumption that I was already out. And that assumption held night after night. It became my reality. You can think it's impossible, or you can see it for what it truly is. A demonstration of the law in action. Even what seems impossible must bend when it is held in imagination with faith. You don't need to beg. You don't need to wait. You simply need to assume. You must dare to believe in the reality of your assumption, even when everything on the outside contradicts it. That's the key. To feel it real. To walk in that state inwardly, no matter what your senses report. When I imagined myself in New York, I was still in the army on paper, but in consciousness, I was already discharged. Every night, I slept in my imagination as a free man, no longer in a bunk surrounded by soldiers, but in my apartment in the city I loved. And within a short time, that inner state hardened into fact. My world had to conform. This is the law. Imagination creates reality, not some of the time, not just for the lucky or the chosen, but for anyone who will truly believe. So I say to you, don't wait for the world to give you permission. Assume it now, live it now, and persist until it is so. Now let me return to what I told you earlier, the state akin to sleep. This is the secret doorway, the bridge between your outer senses and the infinite within. It is that gentle, drowsy state when the body is relaxed, the mind quiet, and the senses no longer dominate. That is when imagination becomes most potent, most receptive. You are no longer pulled by the facts of the world. You are free to create. In this state, you impress the subconscious mind, and what is impressed must be expressed. So before you sleep, or even in moments of stillness during the day, let yourself drift, sink inward, and begin to live in the scene of your fulfilled desire. Feel it real. Don't think of it, think from it. Let it be so vivid, so natural, that when you open your eyes, you miss it. That's when you've done it correctly. That's when the seed is planted. You see, most people drift off to sleep with worries, with regrets, with fears, and they wonder why life gives them more of the same. But you don't have to go to sleep like that. Not anymore. This technique, this sacred doorway between waking and sleep, is the most powerful moment of your day. It's when your conscious mind steps aside and your subconscious is wide open. So don't go to sleep carelessly. Don't let your last thoughts be complaints, fears, or replayed conversations. Use that moment. Live in the end. Feel the wish fulfilled. Let your body rest, but let your imagination rise. You can fall asleep in a cold room, in a small apartment, with unpaid bills, and still drift off feeling rich, loved, successful. And if you do, the world will mirror that state back to you. It has no choice, because that's law. You don't have to fix the outer world. You don't have to chase it, convince it, or control it. You only have to fix the inner state. Because the outer world is just a mirror, a printout, a reflection of the state you go to sleep in, again and again. So, what are you accepting as true, night after night? The state akin to sleep, that drowsy, relaxed, quiet place just before you drift off, is the gateway. It's where your conscious mind loosens its grip and the subconscious becomes impressible. That's the time to plant your seed, to impress the truth you want to live. Don't fall asleep in worry. Don't fall asleep in lack. Don't fall asleep in the memory of what went wrong. Fall asleep in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. How? Simple. Ask yourself, if it were already true, how would I feel right now? Would you feel relief, gratitude, joy, power, peace? Then feel that. Feel it with your body. Let it soak through your chest, your breath, your whole being. And then imagine a single scene, just one. That implies it's already done. If you want a loving relationship, imagine the weight of their arm around you, the warmth of their voice, the way your name sounds when they say it softly. If you want financial freedom, feel the joy of paying something off in full. Feel the money in your hands. Feel what it's like to be completely free. Free of debt. Free of worry. Free to give and free to receive. Hear the excitement in your voice as you tell someone, I did it. If you want healing, see yourself walking freely, doing something you couldn't do before. Feel the aliveness in your body. Make it vivid. Make it feel real. Then let sleep carry you into it. The world will tell you to act harder, work more, push, hustle. But you only need to change the state, occupy the end, and let the bridge of incidents unfold. You are not begging the world. You are selecting from within. So tonight, as you lay down to sleep, don't just drift off like every other night. Choose, assume, feel, and then let go. Fall asleep as the one who already has it. Test it, prove it, and you'll never doubt it again. Because this is not wishful thinking. This is not hope. This is law.